everyone, it's Christy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be making a card using some MFT sets. I'm using Fairy Tale Friends and the Birdie Brown Birth Yay set. I'm just using the little cupcake with the cherry on top. So I've stamped out my images with black licorice hybrid ink on some Copic friendly cardstock since I'll be coloring with my Copics today. And I'm going to start with my unicorn's body. I want it to look like a white unicorn, but I want it to have a little bit of shading going on, so I'm going to use some pale grays. I'm using C0, C1, and C3. I'm starting with my C3 and laying in some shadows on the underside of the legs and along the back side, and also wherever there would be a cast shadow, so underneath the hair and also where the hair curves up around the unicorn's neck, there would also be a shadow there. So just laying those all in. Then I'm going to blend that out with the C1 and just soften up that line and make it really nice and blendable. And then I will go in with the C0 and just pull that into the white area. So I'm just going to do a little circular motion so that there's no harsh lines and just let that fade off and add a little bit to the face as well. Then I'm going to grab a colorless blender just to help that along and just go over that transition line so it really fades off smoothly. Then I'm going to take away the C0 and add in the C5 to do the hooves and the muzzle. So I'm starting with the C5 on the bottom of the muzzle and the back of the hooves, and then blending with the C3 as my midtone and the C1 as my highlight. For some reason, I really love this combination of white unicorns with a gray muzzle. I just think it looks so cute. I actually teach a class at the pottery studio where I work. That's a unicorn mug class. And for my sample, I did a white unicorn body with the gray muzzle, and I think it looks so cute. It's a really popular class, so people seem to like it. Then I'm going to take a C3 marker and add some dot detail to the hindquarters and also to the neck, just to kind of mix things up and give it a little more personality. Then I'll grab the C1 marker and just go over each of those dots to help it fade a little bit into the rest of the body. For the mane and tail, I'm using R81, R83, and R85. This is kind of like a dusty, mauvey pink tone that I think just looks really soft and beautiful. So I'm starting with the R85 and doing my shadows kind of on the underside of each of those little sections of hair, both on the part around the neck and then also on the top of the head. And then I'm going to blend that out with the R83, just making sure to use the very tip of my marker and a very light hand so that it saves some room in those small spaces for the R81. So I'll just fill in whatever remains with that shade, just a quick thin coat so it doesn't get too dark. And then I'm going to repeat that process on the tail. So I'm just going to move down and do the R85 once again on the underside of each of those little sections, just to really separate them out and create some definition there. And then I'll grab that R83 and just go right over the edge of the R85, helping it blend and saving some room for that R81 so that I can just fill in the rest. While I have those marker shades out, I'm also going to use them to color the first section of my rainbow. I wanted to have kind of a pink color, and I wanted to carry that color across the card. I did go ahead and shift my marker caps there. Since I'm left-handed, I just needed to get in there with my markers and be able to flick that color in. So I did the R85 on each end toward the clouds and then blended upward with the R83 and then the R81. And then I'm also going to quickly do one of the cupcakes, just the frosting with those three shades. And I decided to add in a rosy cheek, so I'm just using the R81 for that. The next section of the rainbow is going to be red, so I'm using R24, R29, and R39. So I'm doing pretty much a traditional Roy G. Biv rainbow with the exception of I don't have an indigo shade, I have the pink instead. So I just started with that R39 closest to the clouds. That's pretty much how I'm going to be doing each one of these, the darkest shade toward the clouds and then the highlight where the rainbow curves. So the R29 was my midtone, and then the R24 was my highlight, and I also did the cherries on top of the cupcakes with those 3 shades. The next stripe is going to be orange. I'm using YR04, YR16, and YR18. The yellows that I'm using are Y13, Y15, and Y17. And I'm also going to use those 3 shades to color in the cupcake wrappers of all 3 cupcakes. So for the cupcake wrappers, I'm starting on the right with the Y17, and I'm shading toward the left with the Y15, and then the Y13 is my highlight. And then I'll also do the unicorn's horn with the Y13 and Y15, so it looks kind of like a golden horn. The green shades that I'm using are G00, G02, and G03. And then I'm also going to color in one of the cupcake frostings with those 3 shades as well. It's just a really nice soft blue toned green. For my blues, I'm using B00, B02, and B04. So you'll notice that my rainbow has kind of a mix of bright and pastel colors, but I just thought that would be a unique look. And then my purple stripe is V04, V15, and V17. And I'm also going to finish up the last cupcake frosting with those purple shades. My last combo is BG70 and BG72. The BG70 is a very, very pale, light bluish aqua, and it's beautiful for things like clouds or wings or anything that you want to look transparent. So I went around the clouds with the BG70, and then I'm filling in the little kind of swirls with the BG72. I'm also going to add a little bit of BG72 to the base of the wings and then blend that out with a thick coat of that BG70. And then I'll trim all these out with the matching dies. So now I've got another piece of white cardstock, and I'm taking the Lawn Fawn Puffy Cloud Borders dies, and I'm going to do one out of each side of that. So I'm just going to tape those in place with a piece of Post-it tape and run those through my Cuttlebug. And then I'll take the one that has the larger scallops and pop that in my MISTI so that I can stamp my sentiment. I'm using Lawn Fawn's Black Licorice ink for that, and I'm stamping out the one that says, "May your day be more beautiful than unicorns and rainbows." Such a fun sentiment. Then I'm going to grab my card base, which is MFT's Snow Cone cardstock, and I'm using Lawn Fawn's Merman ink to stamp out one of the other unicorns in the Fairy Tale Friends stamp set, and then the sentiment that says, "Wishing you the happiest birthday ever." And I did stamp that down twice to get a good impression. So then I'm going to take my Puffy Cloud Borders. I'm using the one with the smaller scallop now, and that's going to be the background one. And then I've added some foam tape to the larger scallop with the sentiment. So I'm just going to put that in place so that I can see exactly where I want the back cloud border. Then I'll peel off all of those release papers and go ahead and pop that up on my card front. Then I'll grab my rainbow and add some liquid glue to the back of that, and I'm going to tuck it up high on the card so it'll be kind of in the distance. And then I've added some foam tape to the back of my unicorn, so I'm going to pop him up so that he is standing on that first cloud border. And then I've got these 3 little cupcakes. So I just wanted it to be a happy scene full of things that little girls love, which are rainbows and cupcakes and unicorns. So I added the pink one the farthest away from the unicorn since it's the same color as its mane and tail. So I just wanted to have that color spread around. And then I added the other 2 cupcakes with some foam tape. So now I'm going to take the little sparkles that are in the Lawn Fawn A Little Sparkle stamp set, and I'm going to stamp a few of those down using the Forget Me Not ink. And then I wanted to have a couple that were a little bit lighter, so I'm switching to Lawn Fawn's Moonstone ink, and I'm just going to add those here and there on the top part of the card until I'm happy with how they look. As a final embellishment, I'm going to grab some of my favorite crystal stickles. This is the perfect shade because it really just takes on the color of whatever you put it over and gives it that iridescent sparkle. So I added some to the unicorn's horn and of course its wings. And then I'm also going to add it to the cupcake liners on the cupcakes, and then a little bit to the rainbow. I just kind of blobbed it on toward the bottom and then used the nozzle to kind of streak it upward to kind of match the stripes. So that is going to complete my card for today. I'm going to lift that up to the light so you can see all that beautiful iridescent sparkle and shine, and I'll also give you another peek at the inside. And then I wanted to show you guys that I also did 2 other similar cards, pretty much the same layout and concept, but I did use the other 2 unicorns in that Fairy Tale Friends set by MFT, and I did one with the green mane and tail and one with the purple. But I think these turned out so cute. I just love these images, and I know so many little girls that absolutely love unicorns and rainbows, so I think it's very timely as well. But I hope you guys enjoyed how these turned out. If you did, please be sure to give the video a thumbs up. That lets me know that you're interested in more cards like these. If you haven't subscribed already, I invite you to do that. And if you'd like to keep on watching, here are 2 extra videos that I thought you might also enjoy. I hope you all have an absolutely amazing day. Bye-bye.